Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we're going to learn how to use the signal-to-noise ratio to attract anyone. Now, let's begin. How do you attract the attention of someone you like? What makes you stand out from the crowd? You may feel like you're competing for someone's attention. You may feel like you're being ignored or overlooked. Unfortunately, dating is a numbers game. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of options out there. Sometimes you may feel like a little fish stranded in the great big open ocean. The growing popularity of dating apps makes this problem even worse. It's easier than ever to get lost in a crowd of potential partners. When your profile pops up on someone's screen, you may only have a few seconds to capture their attention. If they're not attracted to you instantly, they'll swipe to the next person. Now, on one hand, dating apps do help you meet people you may never meet otherwise. But on the other, you're vying for people's attention almost constantly. You're competing against dozens of others. So how do you stand out from all the other fish in the sea? There's a concept in electrical engineering called the signal-to-noise ratio. The signal-to-noise ratio is the power of a signal divided by the power of any noise corrupting that signal. In other words, it's the relationship between a signal in the foreground and noise in the background. Okay, let's say you're talking to your friend in a crowded room. You're trying to hold a steady conversation, but the room is so loud that you can barely hear each other. In this example, the signal in the foreground is your conversation, while the background noise includes any music and other voices in that crowded room. In this case, the background noise is louder than your conversation, so the signal-to-noise ratio is very low. Alright, now let's say you moved your conversation to a coffee shop. Now there's very little background noise. You can talk at half the volume, and you can still hear each other loud and clear. By lowering the amount of background noise in your environment, you're increasing your signal-to-noise ratio. The signal in the foreground stands out while the noise in the background stays in the background. Now, this concept has a wide range of applications, from mathematics to software design. But today, we're going to talk about how the signal-to-noise ratio can help you attract potential partners. In the context of dating, our signal in the foreground is you. You're the object you want the other person to focus on. The noise in the background includes all the other people vying for their attention. It's the dozens of other profiles that your crush could choose instead of you. So if you want to stand out from the crowd, you need to raise your signal-to-noise ratio as much as possible. If you can do that, the person you like can see and hear you more clearly than everyone else. So there are two ways to raise your signal-to-noise ratio. Think about our coffee shop example. When you changed locations from the crowded room to the coffee shop, you raised your ratio by decreasing the amount of background noise. If you lower the amount of background noise, your signal gets stronger. In dating, this is what happens when you meet someone in person instead of a dating app. It's much easier to establish connections in person because there's a smaller field of potential options. Alright, let's say you start up a conversation with an attractive stranger. Instead of seeing a dozen profiles at the same time, this person sees just one potential partner, you. Therefore, the amount of background noise is significantly lower. There's no guarantee that approaching someone in person will lead to a romantic connection, but if there's less background noise, you do stand a better chance. Now, this method isn't the only way to raise your signal-to-noise ratio. Let's say you want to keep using dating apps, and in this case, the amount of background noise isn't going to change. If you want to be noticed and raise your signal-to-noise ratio, you have to strengthen your signal. You have to make yourself into a more desirable candidate to capture the attention of someone you like. But how do you make yourself a more attractive option? How do you strengthen your signal and attract anyone's attention? For the rest of this video, we're going to cover 4 powerful ways to make you stand out. The goal here is to strengthen your signal as much as you can. But remember, there's a big difference between strengthening your signal and lying to get attention. Lying or exaggerating may help you get people's attention, but you'll lose that attention almost immediately. So let's talk about 4 reliable changes that you can make to attract anyone's attention and keep it. Number 1. Infectious positivity. Most of the people who date don't like dating. They're forced into the process because they want to meet someone special. But before you can meet that special person, you have to suffer through a whole lot of trial and error. So instead of complaining or feeling disappointed, force yourself to be positive. Approach every new connection with an open mind and a good attitude, because positivity is one of the most attractive traits a partner can have. Well, just think about it this way. Almost everyone on these dating apps is in the same position. They're all looking for someone to connect with. They're all struggling to get over the same hurdles that you are. So why make the problem worse for the both of you? Instead of exacerbating the issue, be the person who lightens the mood. Be the person who's relaxed, confident, and patient. Don't get hung up on how awkward the first conversation can be. It's always awkward, no matter who you are. If you can stay positive and embrace the process, your optimistic attitude will attract all kinds of new attention. This trick works in every dating scenario, not just dating apps. If you're meeting someone in person, that's going to be awkward too, so make yourself a more attractive option by spreading enthusiasm and positivity. Your confidence and energy will attract more people than negativity ever will. Number 2. Genuine specificity. Do you spend hours trying to write the perfect profile? Are you worried your profile is too long? You may be worried your description is scaring people away or boring potential matches. But the most important thing about your profile isn't the length or the language. The best profiles are honest, genuine, and specific. When someone reads your profile, they should get a good idea of who you are as an individual. Most people don't invest enough time or effort into their profiles. They don't try to be vulnerable. They don't write anything genuine about themselves. They just stick to vague lines and eye-rolling cliches. But if you want to find your perfect match, you need to give them a glimpse of your real personality. Talk about something that's important to you. Tell them about the funny hobbies you enjoy or the most interesting experiences you've ever had. Not everyone will like what you have to say, but hey, that's okay. The right people will. This trick works for offline dating too. If you want to attract someone's attention, you have to show them who you are. Let them see a genuine person, not a cliche. Number 3. Conversational commonalities. As you overhaul your profile, here's another thing to think about. Whether you're talking on a dating app or a first date, you'll need to boil yourself down to a few interesting but honest details. You could tell the other person anything about your life, but the most attractive details are also great conversation starters. Give the other person avenues to engage with you. Your genuine personality may attract their attention, but you still need something to talk about. They have to be interested in something about you. Otherwise, your conversation isn't going to go anywhere. Luckily, it's easier to build interest than you think. Most of the time, people brag about their looks, their possessions, or their wealth, thinking those things will generate interest. But people are more interested in you. They want to ask about your quirky hobbies or interesting stories. So at the end of the day, potential partners want to find things that you have in common, things you can talk about, bond over, and love together. So before you decide what to share with the world, try making this one big assumption. Assume that there's someone out there who thinks your interests are exciting, interesting, and engaging. What would you want this person to know about you? Sure, dozens of other people might roll their eyes, but the right person won't. And they're the only person you should really be worried about. Number 4. Personal security. Do you assume the right person is going to overlook you? Many people do. Many people think their best qualities aren't worth bragging about. If you want to stand out, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you have something to offer. So whether you're talking or texting, don't be afraid to tell people the best things about you, because that's what they want to know. If you want someone to take an interest, then show them your most attractive qualities. It sounds obvious, but very few people have the confidence or the courage to show themselves off. This attitude is tremendously attractive all on its own. It's no secret that people like confident partners. They're looking for someone who likes and respects themselves, because you have to like yourself before someone else can like you. Now, obviously, you shouldn't brag too much about yourself, but unless you tell people why you deserve their attention, no one's ever going to give it to you. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.